I worked 3 jobs in New Zealand to build a house in Lagos. My husband built it for his mistress. Let me tell you how a woman can sacrifice everything and still end up with nothing. How you can work yourself to the bone in a country so cold your tears freeze on your face, all for a man who's warming another woman's bed in the house you paid for. My name is Adis, and this is how I learned that some sacrifices aren't noble. They are just stupid. People think New Zealand is paradise. Green hills, clean air, sheep everywhere, nice white people who say sorry when you bump into them. And yes, compared to Lagos traffic and NEPA taking lights every 5 minutes, it is paradise. But paradise is expensive. And paradise is lonely. And paradise doesn't care that you have a degree in accounting from University of Lagos. I came to New Zealand in 2016 on a work visa. My husband Chidi and I had been married for 6 years. We had a small flat in Suraley, and every month we argued about money. His business, importing shoes from China, was struggling. My accounting job paid 85,000 Nigerian Nairas monthly. We were barely surviving. Then my cousin Gozi called from Auckland. Ada, come. New Zealand needs caregivers. The money is good. You can change your family's life. Chidi and I talked about it for months. We made plans. I would go first, get settled, save money, then send for him. We would build a house in Lagos, a proper house in Lekki or Oja, not Suraley flat. We would have children in a house with a garden. We would make it. 2 years maximum, I promised him at the airport. I'll work hard, save money, and come back. Or you join me. We'll do this together. He held me tight. I'll wait for you. Build the business here. When you come back, we'll be ready. I believed him. God, I believed every word. New Zealand in July is winter. I landed in Auckland wearing a jacket I bought at Balagan Market. It was not enough. Nothing in Lagos prepares you for cold that goes into your bones. My cousin picked me up. She didn't sugarcoat it. Your accounting degree means nothing here. You need New Zealand experience. She made quote marks with her fingers. First, you work whatever job you can get. Care homes, cleaning, retail. Then maybe, after years, you get back to your profession. My caregiver visa allowed me to work for one specific aged care facility. The pay was $23 per hour. Sounds good, right? Until you realize a 1-bedroom flat in Auckland costs $500 per week. Food, transport, bills, everything is expensive in New Zealand dollars. I did the math. To send meaningful money to Chidi and survive, I needed more work. So I started waking up at 4:30 am. 5 am to 1 pm, aged care facility, official job, tied to my visa. 2 pm to 8 pm, private caregiver for a Kiwi family, cash job, don't tell immigration. 10 pm to 2 am, night shift stocking shelves at Countdown Supermarket, another cash job. 4 hours of sleep. Every day. Sometimes 3. The Nigerian community in Auckland is small. Everyone knows everyone. At the African shop where I bought curry and egusi at crazy prices, other Nigerian women would whisper that one is doing 3 jobs. Oh, she wants to kill herself. But I had a plan. Chidi and I video called every Sunday. I showed him my calculations. If I save $2,000 every month, in 2 years we'll have $48,000. That's almost 20 million Nigerian Nairas with exchange rate. We can build a proper house. 4 bedrooms. In a good area. His eyes lit up on the screen. My wife. Look at you. We are going to make it. I didn't tell him about falling asleep standing up at work. About the Kiwi lady I cared for who called me the African and complained I smelled funny. About crying in the countdown bathroom at midnight because my body hurt everywhere. I didn't tell him because I was building us a future. 2 years became 3. 3 became 5. 5 became 8. The house plan changed. Chidi found land in Oja, good land, he said, near the Lake Cape Expressway. Upcoming area. Smart investment. I sent money for the land. 15,000 US dollars. My hands shook as I clicked send at the Western Union. Then money for foundation. For pillars. For roofing. For plumbing. For wiring. For tiles. For painting. Every month, I send between $800 and $1,500. Sometimes more during my tax refund season. Chidi sent photos. Construction updates on WhatsApp. I saved every single photo. At night, between my caregiver job and my stocking job, I would look at those photos on the bus and smile. My house. Our house. Rising from the ground. My New Zealand life was grey and cold. But my Lagos dream was bright and warm. I made one Nigerian friend in Auckland, Obiajili, another caregiver working multiple jobs. We understood each other. The exhaustion. The loneliness. The sacrifice. You don't date, she asked once. New Zealand men are nice Oimbo men SEF. I showed her my wedding ring. I'm married. Building a house for my husband. She looked at me with something like pity. Ada, 8 years is long time. You sure say your husband is building house? Not building something else. I got angry. My husband is not like that. We talk every week. He sends me photos. I know where my money is going. She raised her hands. Okay, I'm just saying. Long-distance marriage is not easy. Especially when woman is the one abroad suffering. I brushed it off. Obiajili was divorced. She was bitter. My marriage was different. Chidi loved me. We had a plan. But I didn't know that while I was stocking shelves at 1 a.m. in Auckland, Chidi was stocking another woman's bed in MY house in Lagos. December 2024. I finally saved enough for a visit. 8 years. I hadn't been home in 8 years. My New Zealand residence visa had just been approved. I was permanent now. Legal. Secure. I could breathe. I called Chidi. I'm coming home for Christmas. Surprise. I want to see the house. Our house. There was a pause. Too long. Oh. Ada. Christmas is not good time. The house is not, we are still doing finishing touches. Better to wait until. Chidi, I've been waiting 8 years. I'm coming. Another pause. Okay. But let me know your exact dates. I need to prepare. Something felt wrong. But I was too excited to care. I called my younger sister Amara, who still lived in Lagos. I'm coming home. And I'm finally going to sleep in my house. Her voice went cold. Ada, we need to talk. Not on phone. When you land, come to my place first. Don't go to Oja. Please. My heart started beating fast. Amora, what's going on? Not on phone, she repeated. Just trust me. Come to mine first. I didn't sleep on the 18-hour flight from Auckland to Lagos. My mind was racing. What was Amora talking about? Was something wrong with the house? Had Chidi spent the money on something else? I landed at Matola Muhammad Airport on December 20th. Lagos hit me like a wall. After 8 years of New Zealand cold, I'd forgotten what real heat felt like. Amora picked me up. She didn't smile. She didn't hug me properly. She just threw my bag in the car and started driving. Amora, talk to me. What's happening? She pulled over on the side of the road. Right there on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, traffic blaring around us. Ada, I didn't want to tell you on phone because I knew you'd collapse on that plane. She took a deep breath. Chidi has been living in the house. With another woman. For 3 years. The traffic noise became distant. My ears were ringing. What? The house you've been building. He finished it 2 years ago. He's been living there. With a woman named Jennifer. They have a 1-year-old son. I couldn't breathe. The Lagos heat was suffocating me. How do you know? Amora pulled out her phone. She showed me photos. Facebook photos. Instagram photos. My husband. In my house. The house with the blue tiles I picked. The white walls I approved. The chandelier I sent extra money for. He was standing with a light-skinned woman. She was wearing an apron. My kitchen. She was cooking in my kitchen. Another photo. The woman pregnant. In my living room. Another photo. Chidi holding a baby. The caption, my king and my prince. #family first, #God is good. I vomited. Right there in Amora's car. 8 years of sacrifice came up from my stomach. Amora drove me to her place. I couldn't speak. I just stared at my phone, scrolling through Jennifer's Instagram. She had posted my house everywhere. Home sweet home. God's blessings. Living my best life. The comments killed me. Wow, your husband built well. Oh. This is what a good man does. Provides for his family. Jennifer, you are winning in life. Winning. She was winning with my money. My sacrifice. My 8 years of 4-hour sleep and frozen tears. I called Chidi. He didn't answer. I called 17 times. Finally, he picked. Ada. I'm in Lagos. Silence. I saw the photos, Chidi. All of them. You want to explain? Ada, it's not what you think. You're living in my house with another woman and a baby. What part am I misunderstanding? He went quiet. Then, Ada, you've been gone for 8 years. 8 years. You chose New Zealand over our marriage. I almost dropped the phone. I chose. I was in New Zealand working 3 jobs to build that house. For US. A house is not a marriage. You sent money, yes. But you left me alone. A man has needs, Ada. Jennifer was there. You were not. So you used my money to build a house for your mistress. It's my house too. I supervised the construction. With my money. Every single naira came from my suffering in New Zealand. Ada, calm down. Did you tell Jennifer that? That your king was built with money from your wife cleaning Oimbo people's shit in Auckland? Did you tell her I worked while she slept? Did you tell her about the house I couldn't afford to rent in New Zealand because I was busy paying for your palace in Lagos? He hung up. I tried to call back. Number blocked. I screamed. Amora held me while I screamed and cried and broke into pieces on her floor. 8 years. Gone. Just like that. I spent 3 days at Amora's place. Crying. Not eating. Planning. Obiagili called from New Zealand. Ada, I saw your message. I'm so sorry. What are you going to do? I don't know. Kill him. Burn the house. I don't know. Don't be stupid. You're a New Zealand resident now. You have options he doesn't even understand. That's when the idea hit me. I stopped crying. I started planning. First, I called my lawyer in Lagos. Yes, I had a lawyer, I'm not stupid. I protected myself. When I sent money for the land, I made sure my name was on the documents. Joint ownership. My name was on everything. The land. The building approvals. Everything. Chidi thought because he was in Nigeria and I was in New Zealand, he had control. He forgot that money talks. And New Zealand money talks very loud in Lagos. Second, I went to the house. My house. In Oja. I didn't knock. I used my key, yes, Amora had gotten me a copy from the spare he left with his mother. I walked into my house at 2 p.m. Jennifer was there. Watching Telemundo. My TV. My DSTV subscription that I was still paying for from New Zealand. She nearly fainted when she saw me. Who are you? I smiled. Sweet like sugar. I'm Ada. The woman who paid for this house. Every single tile you're standing on. Who are you? She stood up, shaking. I'm Chidi's wife. Interesting. Because I'm also Chidi's wife. The legal one. From 2010. Before you were probably even in university. Her eyes went wide. You're the sister in New Zealand. Sister. This man told her I was his sister. I laughed. The kind of laugh that comes when you're too hurt to cry anymore. Sister. Wow. Is that what he told you? That his sister was sending him money from New Zealand to build a house. Jennifer started crying. He said you were his sister who was helping him. He said his wife died in childbirth years ago. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Well, his wife is very much alive. And she wants her house back. I called the police. I called my lawyer. Right there in the living room. Chidi came home an hour later. The police were waiting. His face when he saw me. I wish I had taken a photo. Ada, what are you doing? This is my house. Our house, I corrected. Check the land documents. Check the building permits. My name is there. And according to Nigerian law, property acquired during marriage belongs to both parties. But you know what's funny? All the money came from me. I have 8 years of Western Union receipts. My lawyer has copies. His mouth opened. Nothing came out. You have 2 choices, I continued. 1, buy me out. Pay me half the current market value of this property. In US dollars. Or 2, we sell the house and split the money. Your choice. Ada, be reasonable. Reasonable. My voice echoed in MY house. I worked 3 jobs in freezing cold for 8 years while you built a love nest for your mistress with my money, and you want reasonable. The police officer cleared his throat. Madam is within her rights. Sir, you need to settle this matter. Chidi couldn't buy me out. Of course he couldn't. His shoe business was barely surviving. He had no savings. He'd been living off my money for 8 years. We sold the house. It took 3 months. I stayed in Lagos, at Amora's place, to make sure everything went through properly. The house sold for 85 million Nigerian nairas. After lawyer fees and agent fees, we split 75 million Nigerian nairas. I took my 37.5 million Nigerian nairas. At the exchange rate, about 42,000 US dollars. Not even half of what I'd sent over the years. But it was something. Chidi took his half and disappeared. Jennifer left him when she found out everything. Posted on Instagram, when God removes people from your life, let them go. #new beginnings, #single mom, #God is still good. The comments were different this time. Wait, what happened to the house? Sis, didn't you just post Home Sweet Home last month? So the husband was married. Chai. I'm back in Auckland now. January 2025. Summer here, still nothing like Lagos heat, but I've readjusted. I took my money and did something Chidi would never expect. I bought a small flat. Not in Lagos. Here. In Auckland. 1 bedroom. Nothing fancy. But it's mine. Only mine. My name on the deed. No husband to share it with. No mistress to steal it. I still work at the aged care facility. But I quit the other 2 jobs. I sleep 7 hours now. Sometimes 8. Obiajili came to my flat warming. Just the 2 of us, jollof rice and wine. So, she said. You're staying. Not going back to Nigeria. I looked around my small flat. The grey Auckland sky outside. The quiet street. You know what I learned? I said. Home is not where you build a house. Home is where nobody can take your peace. That's deep, Ada. 8 years deep. She laughed. So what now? You're done with men. I smiled. I didn't say that. But next time. If there's a next time. He'll be here. Where I can see him. Where I can see what my money is building. Last week, my lawyer sent me a final message. The divorce was finalized. 8 years of marriage, dissolved in 8 months. Chidi sent one email after everything. Just one. Ada, I'm sorry. I was weak. I made a mistake. Can we talk? I didn't reply. Instead, I posted a photo on my Instagram. My first post in 8 years. Me, standing in my Auckland flat. Smiling. The caption, built this with my own hands. Nobody can take it. #New Zealand, #New Life, #Trust no man. My sister Amara commented, proudest of you. You won. But here's the truth they don't tell you about winning, even when you get justice, you don't get back the years. I can't get back the 8 years of 4-hour sleep. The frozen tears. The loneliness. The sacrifices I made for a man who was never going to appreciate them. I can't get back the life I could have built if I'd spent that money on myself from the beginning. But I got something else. I got wisdom. I got strength. I got a spine made of New Zealand steel. And I got a story that every Nigerian woman planning to Japan needs to hear: never sacrifice so much for someone else that you lose yourself. Because when they betray you, and some of them will, you need to have something left to stand on. My house in Lagos is gone. Sold to a nice family who had no idea about the drama. But my flat in Auckland. This one is forever. This one is peace. And that's worth more than any 4-bedroom palace built on lies. Would you have handled this differently? Have you ever built something in Nigeria while abroad, only to find out it wasn't what you thought? Fellow Nigerians abroad, how do you protect your investments back home? Drop your stories below. Because we need to warn each other. The Joppa dream is real, but so are the betrayals. Subscribe for more real diaspora stories. Not the Instagram version. The truth version.